Every time you shop, invisible tariff taxes are quietly stealing money from your wallet. Here's exactly how US tariffs on other countries are making everything you buy more expensive. Higher prices on imported goods. Your smartphone just got pricier, and it's not because Samsung made it fancier. When the US slaps tariffs on imports, those costs land right in your shopping cart. Think about it like this. Every time a container ship docks with goods from China or India, there's now a toll booth waiting. Companies importing everything from sneakers to laptops have to pay extra fees to the government. But here's the kicker. They don't absorb that cost. Instead, they pass it straight to you. In 2025, American consumers are facing an average tariff rate of 18.6%, the highest since 1933. That means your favorite gadgets, clothes, and household items just became significantly more expensive. It's like someone secretly added a tax to half the stuff you buy, except this tax is totally legal and completely unavoidable. Local price increases due to less competition. Here's where things get really sneaky. When imported goods cost more because of tariffs, American companies selling similar products see their golden opportunity. It's like being in a poker game where half the players suddenly have to pay extra just to stay in the hand. Domestic manufacturers think, hey, if foreign competitors are charging more, we can bump up our prices too and still look like the better deal. Suddenly, that American-made washing machine costs $200 more, not because it improved, but because the Korean model next to it just got hit with tariffs. This ripple effect means even buying local doesn't save you money anymore. Companies know you have fewer cheap alternatives, so they jack up prices across the board. It's capitalism at work, but your wallet feels like it's getting mugged in broad daylight. Rising costs of food and groceries. Walk into any supermarket today, and you'll notice something strange happening in the produce aisle. Those avocados from Mexico, they're costing more. Seafood from Asia? Same story. US tariffs are hitting your dinner table harder than you realize. Food prices have jumped 3.2% in the short term because of tariffs, with fresh produce getting walloped by a brutal 7% increase. That bag of imported rice or those specialty spices your family loves just became luxury items. Here's what makes it worse. Even American-grown food gets pricier when imported fertilizers, seeds, and farming equipment cost more due to tariffs. It's like a sneaky tax on eating itself. American families are now paying an extra $200 per year just for groceries because of these trade policies. Every trip to the store feels like highway robbery, and tariffs are the getaway driver. Increased costs of household essentials. Your washing machine breaks down, so you head to the appliance store for a replacement. Surprise! That same model now costs $600 more than it did 6 months ago. Welcome to the tariff tax on household essentials. From furniture to kitchen gadgets to home improvement supplies, everything that makes your house a home just got significantly pricier. Tariffs on steel and aluminum have made appliances cost more to manufacture. Wooden furniture from overseas faces hefty import fees that get passed right to your credit card. Even basic stuff like cleaning supplies and storage containers feel the pinch. It's like someone decided to charge you extra for the privilege of having a functional home. American households are now spending thousands more each year just to maintain their basic standard of living, all thanks to these supposedly protective trade policies. Hidden tax burden. While wealthy Americans barely notice the extra cost on their designer clothes or luxury cars, working families get crushed. Research shows that tariffs cost lower-income households 3.9% of their annual purchasing power, compared to just 1% for the wealthy. That translates to about $1,500 lost each year for families already struggling to make ends meet. Why? Poor families spend a bigger chunk of their income on necessities like clothes, shoes, and household items. They also rely more heavily on cheaper imported goods because domestic alternatives cost too much. It's like charging extra admission to people who can least afford the ticket. Tariffs are basically a tax that punishes you for being broke, disguised as economic policy that's supposed to help American workers. Rising inflation, fueled by tariffs. Remember when politicians promised tariffs wouldn't cause inflation? Well, that promise aged like milk in the sun. U.S. consumer prices have jumped 1.8% in the short term because of tariffs alone, adding fuel to an inflation fire that was already burning American wallets. That might not sound like much, but it means everything from your morning coffee to your car payment costs more. The Federal Reserve is now stuck between a rock and a hard place, trying to control inflation while tariffs keep pushing prices higher. It's like trying to fill a bathtub while someone else keeps pulling the drain plug. Even worse, this tariff-driven inflation is sticky, meaning prices don't come back down even if trade policies change later. Your paycheck buys less stuff every month, and tariffs are a big reason why your dollar doesn't stretch like it used to. Businesses passing tariff costs to consumers. American companies faced with higher tariff bills don't just swallow the extra costs out of the goodness of their hearts. They're running businesses, not charities. When importing goods costs more, those expenses get passed straight down to you at the register. It's like a game of economic hot potato, except the potato always lands in your wallet. Small businesses are especially ruthless about this because they operate on razor-thin profit margins. A mom-and-pop electronics store can't absorb a 25% tariff increase on their inventory, so they immediately bump up prices to stay afloat. Even giant corporations like Walmart and Target, who could theoretically eat some costs, choose to protect their profit margins instead. They know customers will grumble but keep shopping anyway. The result? Every tariff dollar collected by the government comes from your pocket, disguised as a regular price increase. Costlier manufacturing inputs. Here's where tariffs get really sneaky. They don't just hit finished products, they attack the building blocks of everything you buy. When the U.S. puts tariffs on steel, aluminum, and plastic, every American manufacturer using those materials suddenly faces higher costs. Your car costs more because steel tariffs made the frame pricier. Your smartphone costs more because rare earth metals from China got hit with import taxes. Even your morning coffee costs more because the machines that roast the beans use imported parts. It's like charging extra for flour and then acting surprised when bread prices go up. Manufacturing companies can't magically make these raw material costs disappear, so they pass them along in the final price. This creates a snowball effect where one tariff on basic materials makes thousands of different products more expensive, hitting your budget from every possible angle. Supply chain disruptions. Adding costs. Tariffs don't just mess with prices, they turn supply chains into a complete nightmare. Companies that spent decades building efficient networks suddenly find their trusted suppliers priced out of the market. Picture a furniture maker who's been getting wood from Canada for 20 years. Boom! New tariffs make that wood 25% more expensive overnight. Now they're scrambling to find domestic suppliers, negotiate new contracts, and retool their entire operation. That chaos costs serious money, and guess who pays for it? You do, through higher furniture prices. Some companies are forced to stockpile inventory before tariffs hit, tying up cash that could go toward keeping prices low. Others shut down production lines entirely while they figure out alternatives. It's like trying to change the tires on a moving car. The whole process is expensive, inefficient, and those costs get passed straight to consumers. Reduced household spending power. Here's the brutal math. The average American household is losing about $2,700 in purchasing power each year because of tariffs. That's real money disappearing from your budget, making everything from vacations to emergency funds harder to afford. Lower-income families get hit worst, losing nearly 4% of their annual spending power. It's like getting an invisible pay cut that nobody talks about on the evening news. When your grocery bill, clothing costs, and household essentials all jump at the same time, your paycheck suddenly doesn't stretch as far. Families are being forced to make tough choices: skip the family vacation, delay buying a new car, or cut back on dining out. The economic ripple effects are massive because when people spend less, businesses make less, which means fewer jobs and slower economic growth. Tariffs are essentially shrinking the American dream, one price hike at a time.